Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. This is the card we're making today. It's this lovely little wreath thank you card, and this one is in purple tones. So I've got gorgeous grape here, Highland heather, and then old olive for the little bit of wreath that you can see here. So, and then I've got a lovely embossing folder in the background just to give some added interest. So let me show you how I made this. We're going to do a different colourway this time. So I've got a scrap piece here of basic white cardstock. I know it's quite a big piece of scrap, but we're going to be doing quite a bit of stamping. So the first stamp set we're going to use is this one called Cottage Wreaths, and we're going to stamp this lovely wreath here. You've got all sorts of things you can add to your wreath: berries, pine cones, you've got all these extra leafy bits and the lovely little bow. So it's a lovely set, and we're going to stamp here in old olive ink. So let's just ink up our stamp and get it really nicely inked up. And then I'm just going to stamp it down here in the corner, just like that. Isn't that lovely? Now I'm just going to clean up my stamp because I need the block. Well, you need to always clean your stamps, but I'm not leaving it till later because I need my block. So give that a clean. Okay, close this up. Actually, let's leave that open and do our other little bit of stamping here. So I'm going to turn this round so I can get a clean edge. The next stamp set I'm going to use is Phrases for All. I love the font, and we're going to use here this one that says thank you. So let's put this down. We want to try and get it straight, and to do that I always just use my grid paper. Put the stamp on the grid paper straight, and then put the block on straight as well, and then you have a good chance of getting things straight. I'm going to stamp again in old olive ink. Whoops, nearly dropped it there. And just going to stamp at the bottom here. There we go, thank you. And starting to run out of space, I'm sure you know the feeling. And I'm just going to clean up this mess. Sorry about the squeakies, just means it's getting good and clean. Okay, and I've got ink all over my block, and that's because I over inked it. Okay, so let's put this back in our stamp set before we lose it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and now we're going to get our third stamp set we're going to use, and this one's called Petal Park, and it's these florals we're going to use here. So, whoops, taking out more than we need. Put that on our block, close up our old olive ink, and we're going to be using Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo this time. So let's do a few of these in Petal Pink. So I'm just going to stamp down, hold, and up like that. I think I can fit another one down here. And I'm going to do 3, I think, of each colour, or maybe 4. It's going to give me a lot more than I need, but then I tend to save everything, all my extras, and I put it all into a little box, in my embellishment box, and then if I'm looking for something later on, I can just go in the embellishment box and go through what I've got and see if I've got something already without having to restamp. So let's give that a clean up. And what I am planning to do at one point, and let me know if this is something you're interested in, is that bring my embellishment box and some paper and cardstock and do a video where we just, well, Facebook Live would be better, where we just sit here and you can help me design a card using all of my leftovers and my scraps. And you can, so let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. So my second colour here I'm going to use is Flirty Flamingo. Like that. Lovely. Okay, so that's all of our stamping done and dusted. Now for our flowers, we're going to cut it out using this punch, and this is the matching Petal Park Builder punch. So we're just going to put our cardstock in and get it lined up as best as we can. That'll do. Whoopsie. And punch, and we've got our flowers. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me punch everything out. I'll punch it all out, and then I am going to cut out my little wreath here using the matching Cottage Wreath dies, which is this one here. So I'm going to get that all done, and by the magic of video editing, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so everything has been punched out. As you can see here, I've got my two piles of Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. I mean Flirty Flamingo, I should rather say. And then I cut out my little wreath, as I said, using the matching dies. Then I took a piece of basic white cardstock while I was at my Big Shot, or my die cutting machine, and I ran it through this lovely new embossing folder called Countryside Blooms, and it just gives us lovely added texture in the background. So we did that. Our card base is going to be Flirty Flamingo. So let's stick this down to our card base now. And we're going to just use some Tombow. I'm just going to put, you can hear all the dimension. I always think it's funny, but you can hear the dimension on this card. It's always funny to me, you can hear dimension, but you really can when you put the glue on. Okay, and let's just put this on the front of our card, just like that. And then the inside, I've got another piece of basic white, measures the same as the outside, 14.35 centimeters by 10. And then I'm just going to stick this down on the inside here for our insert. Lovely. Okay, so we're ready to build our card. So going to put our wreath down somewhere, maybe like that, and I'm going to put this down with Tombow. I'm not popping it up because I'm going to pop up some of the flowers instead. So there's our little wreath. Now, before I start, let's arrange our flowers. Now we've got a ton of them here, so let's see. I'm going to start off with some big ones. So we're going to start to arrange our flowers all around our wreath, sort of putting the bigger ones at the back, smaller ones at the front, and I'm just going to get a mixture of colours and just arrange things as is pleasing to the eye. And I'm going to let a little bit of that green show at the top of the wreath. And you can see here I'm just layering up smaller flowers on top of the bigger ones. And yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So we've got a lot of spare to make another card. You can see here I've got a ton of them. And I've also got some purple ones left over from before and lots of greenery. So I've got plenty there. We can make a few more cards if we want. So now I'm going to start to stick everything down. And I'm going to stick the bigger flowers down with Tombow Mono adhesive. And then I'm going to go in and stick the smaller ones down, I think with some dimensionals, or I'm going to use a mixture of the mini dimensionals and the larger normal sized dimensionals. So you can see here me just sticking them down, and then yes, you can see here I'm going to move on to my dimensionals, and I'm just going to pop these few ones up, and this just gives a bit of added interest to the card and a bit more dimension and makes it look a bit better. So there we go, all our pretty flowers. Just aside for a second, one thing I didn't do while I was off camera is cut up my sentiments, and I'm just going to do that using my trimmer here. And this is why it's good to have the straight edge, because now it helps you to get things Makes it much more easy to line things up. So let's see. Let's have a look here and see if that's going to work. Yeah, I think I'll take just a little bit off the base. Maybe a little bit off here. You can keep on faffing until you don't know where to stop, which is sort of where I'm going at the moment. So I'm going to stop there before I just... Sometimes you can keep on trimming, thinking you need to trim something off, and you end up trimming your sentiment itself, cutting into it and starting again. You just don't know when to stop. I'm going to mat this onto some, what you call it, old olive cardstock. I'm just going to use some seal for this because it's what my hand found first. And just here in the corner where I've got a straight edge. And then I'm just going to cut this out. Just like that. Lovely. And now we want to stick this down with some dimension as well. So I'm going to use my edges here. They're perfect for this. So as you can see, really helps. And I'm going to use some more edges here. And then I'm going to use some... Sorry it's echoing, I don't know why I'm getting an echo today. Nothing's changed. Haven't got the froggiest, but anyway. Okay, so let's stick this down and then we can do our finishing touches. I have to say, when I made this card the first time, I really wasn't sure until I did the finishing touches, but this time I really like it already. I think it's the difference in colours. You can let me know which colour you prefer, whether you like these pinks or you prefer the purples. Let me know in the comments below. I love to read your comments, so please do comment. Okay. Finishing touches are some rhinestones. Can't get better than some basic rhinestones. Lovely embellishment to use. And we're just going to use these to create our flower centres. So let's do that. And you can use whichever size you want. I'm just using the smaller size here. What happened to that? What didn't come with me? So there we go. Now in the other one I scattered a few around, but I actually don't think it needs it here. I think it's just as pretty as it is. So we're going to leave it. So there are the two cards. Let me know which one you prefer, A or B. I think personally I prefer this one, but let me know what you think. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. If you wanted more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, etc., it's all on the blog post on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!